Thank you, Nick, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to speak today for the next 8 minutes. It's going to be a job to keep it to that short, on the mental aspect of health, of fitness, of well-being. And there's not a lot of time to give it in the depth it deserves, but I'll leave you with sort of 3 takes on it. Firstly, the whole mental side, mental toughness, mental awareness, this mental thing tends to be grouped into one category. That's the mental side. Whereas, in fact, there's a whole realm of things within this category of focus, of determination, of perseverance, of overcoming challenges, of goal setting, of pain thresholds, of all these things. And you cannot just do one thing, just blanket them in one single category. Secondly, all these separate factors, they are the same for an idiot like me who takes long holidays across an ice cap to a pole, to an Olympic athlete, or to a person who just wants to lose weight or get fit. All these aspects will have some bearing to some degree on their whole mental capacity. The difference between people like me is that the degrees are a little bit more extreme. So to give an example, when I walked to the North Pole, talking about pain threshold. So when Kelly Holmes and Olympic athletes, and there was a triathlon this morning, they push their bodies to the limit, and no disrespect to any, but once you finish it, you'll get a nice hot shower, and then you'll get a nice rub-down massage, you've finished. On something like this, that we have to do this for 2 months. 2 months of pushing your body to the limit in the most extreme and hostile environment on Earth. Walking to the North Pole from the coast of Canada or Russia is the hardest challenge on this planet. I use hard with a loose term because there's obviously different meanings of hard, but that pain is absolutely, totally debilitating. And we had to put up with this, let's say, over the course of 2 months. What drives someone to put up with this for the sake of reaching a pole where there's nothing there? Talking on overcoming challenges. On my South Pole trip, my boot broke. Okay, my means of propulsion. This is basically a crankshaft going kaput on your car. Now, if a bike breaks in a triathlon, you've got a spare wheel, you've got support there. If you injure your calf, you're pulled out, you're end of the race. But here you're thousands of kilometers from anywhere. And we had to fix this broken boot with whatever string, dental floss, straps or wires, whatever we had. And it took 20 attempts to get some sort of combination on this boot to make it work against the ski. When I talk about setbacks, I go to my recent attempt on the world's second highest mountain, K2, which is generally regarded as the hardest and most dangerous mountain in the world to climb. For every 4 people that summit K2, 1 dies trying. For everyone who reaches the top of K2, you've got the highest chance of being killed on the descent of any mountain on Earth. So we tried it in 2013. Many of you read the stories, and where 20 of us were pushing for the summit, and going up we got to Camp 2, which is this lovely little camp here, where the conditions were so bad that 18 of us decided to come down, where 2 guys, highly experienced, went up, and that night were wiped out, were killed by an avalanche at Camp 3. It could have been all of us. Now, again, a major setback. This mountain hadn't been summited from Pakistan once only in the past 5 years. But what do? You pick yourself up together, you just look at the reasons what went wrong, try and get things back in a better, efficient way of doing things, more support, better timing, all these things. And so I went back this year against most people's advice. People thought I was crazy. We're pretty crazy to do these things anyway. But got up there and thankfully got to the top of K2 on the 26th of July this summer. But I'm an extreme, but those same things about that perseverance, that determination, that risk-taking, self-belief, all these things are applicable to everybody. And the third thing is where the disconnect is that however good I think I am, and I'm no gifted special individual. I've got some skills and great endurance capabilities, but I'm not some superhuman specimen. I'm just damn stubborn and damn determined to make these things happen. But all of us, we can't do it on our own. Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, Murray have coaches. Kelly Holmes, every Olympic athlete has a coach. And guess what? I've got a coach, and I use a whole load of people, leadership colleagues. I'm part of websites, webinars. I'm doing this thing all the time. Now, if people who strive to be the best, if we think we need coaches, mentors, trainers, whatever, what do you think people who are trying to be just generally fit need? So there is a disconnect in our world that we do need to raise awareness. We do need to coach people, to train people, to consult, whatever you call it, doesn't really matter. But people need this education. And I'm turning around to the whole aspect of this health, well-being and fitness. And when I go to a gym, and I go to the gym quite a bit, I love weight training, I often talk to people and I say, why are you here? And they often say, well, I'm here to get fit. I say, what does that look like? And they said, well, and it sort of starts a conversation in their mind. Or I'm here to be healthy. Well, what does that mean to you? Because what being healthy to me means to someone like you is a completely different thing. We've got whole different thresholds. So one of the things I believe that we've got to get quite clear from the start is why you're doing these things. And that's what this coaching, mentoring, training, consulting will start to reveal, because there's no point just going out there training unless you know why you're actually doing it. Now, I'm quite clear why I do these rather extreme things. I do it because I love setting big goals. I love the physical hard work. I love being in the wildernesses of the world. I love the learning from it, the learning from these things. And yes, there's that sense of achievement. But of course, achievement will mean very different things to you than it means to me. There's an external fame, respect, recognition, and there's an internal self-worth, purpose, pride, whatever that is. So it's very important to be quite clear why you're doing these things. And the third thing is, say, when we talk about health, wellness, and fitness, I've got this whole aspect of my body that I regard this thing as totally precious. It's this gift I've been given. And I treat this thing like gold dust, absolute gold dust, because there isn't a second one. There's not a second liver, second lung, okay, maybe a kidney if you're lucky, but treat this thing like gold dust. And so what I put in this mouth, and I've got this whole thing on cancer that we know what causes 99% of all cancers in the world. It's what we put in our mouths, the food, the water, and the air we breathe. What I try and put, we can't avoid it completely, but what I try and put in this body is the best that you can possibly feed, water, and breathe it. And when we're talking about diabetes and all these illnesses in the world, it's that striking awareness in the people, that getting people aware that this is this precious gift we've got. Most of us, how many people here have got children? How many people here have got children? Okay, we will say the most important things in our life of our children, correct? Well, you're not much use to your children if you're 6 feet under the ground, or if you're lying with a heart attack or a stroke, or you're incapacitated. Our kids need us to be healthy and active and fit and healthy right into our old age. And it's the old oxygen mask scenario on the aircraft. Put the oxygen, look after yourself first, then take a look after your children. And that's what I believe we should be doing with this whole health, well-being and fitness. For those in the corporate world, there is a growing movement, growing recognition, growing studies that are showing that wellness increases employee engagement, which in the end increases employee productivity and results. So there's even a great result for those of you looking for corporate results at the end of it. So that's my short little take on where I come from. As I said, just to summarize it, there's a whole aspect of this mental toughness, mental discipline, whole realm of areas. They're equally applicable to somebody who's going to do walk YAS this afternoon as someone who walk into a pole or climbing K2. But thirdly, that we cannot do it on our own. We do need our coaches and trainers and mentors and awareness program to educate, to train, to get people aware why they're doing these things. That's what I want to speak about. I'm going to leave you